Hey there, welcome back Gunpla nerds. Once again, I introduce you to another episode of Gunpla-tinum, the show where I show you unboxings, tutorials in the future, and reviews of kits. Also some other stuff that I'm in the works. Anyway, today I have the pleasure of reviewing the RG Gundam Exia Repair 3. Yes, I was able to get my hands on this P-Bandai kit. I was lucky enough to be able to pre-order this way back when, very early on, and I was one of the few first people in Canada to have gotten it, so I'm pretty happy about that. It took me forever to finally be able to release this review, but it's just because I've had a lot of other projects along the way. So, a little bit of details about this. As you'll notice, if you've built any version of the Exia before, you can tell right off the bat, it's totally different. The shoulders are different in terms of color. The knees are different in terms of color. Even the back end of it. I'll give you a full rotation of it so you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. The weapons are different. But you still have the base Exia look, right? So, let's do a full rotation to start off the bat. The waist right here, you get fixed beam saber holders. The shoulders are obviously different. The shield right there for the sword is pretty much the same. The GN sword 2 is different. That green is so good. GN condenser, different butt flaps, all basically the same on the back end for the legs, aside for the thigh area. But look at that. Check out that beam rifle. Beauty. Wait until you see it fully deployed as well. I'm not sure if the chest is different, but I do know that the back is where the GN condenser goes because they had to change that around, right, to compensate for that. The arms are different because they totally eliminated the little wire or particle thing that used to be there, and it's also different from the GN2 because it has that little bit, as far as I know. It's different. The legs are also different compared to the original designs. They even removed this little part over here, the energy tube or whatever was there as well. I don't know what it's called. I just know that before they used to have the same purplish colors that, you know, the head and some other areas do, and they totally got rid of that, right? But objectively speaking, this does seem like a really good improvement over the previous design. You don't have things that get in the way of it. It looks a lot cleaner. The colors are much better. It's just like right off the bat, as soon as I saw it, the color is what got me. And then I saw the weapons. So a couple of the things that come with the kit. You get, aside from everything you see there, a GN shield. Beauty. You actually get enough parts to build an entire GN condenser, and it actually, look at that, it pops out. That's actually a pretty cool little gimmick that they have. I never built the original version of this Exia, so I'm pretty happy about that. You get a pair of open hands, okay? These RG style hands, which I really do dig. They kind of look funky over here with this little part that's open, but you know what? The fact that you can move them around like that gives you a lot of options, you know? I like that. Pair of closed fist, you know, nothing too fancy. And also the hands that it has already, which are for holding a rifle. It doesn't serve too much of a purpose for that rifle, for this type of hand, because it can't actually go inside properly. But it still looks great. So, happy about that. Oh, you also get a pair of these beam sabers, the long ones, and the short ones for those beam handles. Before I forget, all of these extra little details that you see around here are from Delta Decal. Yes, I purchased those around the same time as I pre-ordered this kit, not knowing that he would actually release a full decal sheet for the Repair 3 version. So I kind of wish I had gotten on that one from the get-go. It was just a lack of foresight on my part. But these still look really good. They apply on very well. I mean, I know this is starting to sound like an advert, but yeah, I just wanted to let it be known that all these little details that you see on it are Delpa decals that I purchased for an RG Exia 1. Okay, now on to the color separation. This kit actually boasts some very impressive color separation. I mean, if you were to compare it to the master grade version, hands down, this one just blows that one right out of the water in terms of details, because where the other one was kind of just one shade of white, if you're familiar with RG kits already, you know that they tend to have an off-white or a gray. And in this case, this kit actually comes with just the typical white and gray parts. And that just adds so much more depth to it. Even in, I mean, some other kits, you get a different shade of red too, or yellows. In this one, they just really gave you the off-colored white with the gray pieces. But you know what? It works phenomenally. Like anything more would have probably been too much. So on the rifle, everything is colored perfectly. You know, it's exactly what you get in the package and all the promotional material for it. On the legs, same idea. These two pieces, beautiful color separation. They're new parts for this type of design, all right? Well, I mean, same old parts, I guess, but different color, yeah? All right. Same type of green effect parts all over the place. That's typical. Not too many stickers aside from what you would expect, because it has a sticker underneath there on the arms, over here on the head and the back, right? So that's pretty standard. But given the extra colors all over, it's what we really expect for an RG. So on that respect, this kit does rank pretty high, because the only stickers that I used on this are some of the green, like on the chest there, here on the legs, as I said before, and a little bit of chrome that you'll see right behind here around the butt flaps. Like even this blue, hold on a second, I just want to admire that. That booty. Yeah, even these pieces, this was all... Ooh. That gray is a piece, that white is a piece, that blue is a piece. This was why I bought the kit. Not because of the booty shot, but because of the color separation. The old Exia didn't really catch my attention too much. Neither did Repair 2. But this one, given the addition of the shoulder pieces, the knee pieces, the butt flap pieces, all of those really just make the kit stand out so much more compared to the original design, right? Oh, and you also have that long rifle, which is pretty cool. So I'm in love, yeah, in terms of the color. Moving on to the legs and the flexibility and all my major issues with this kit. And that's this pose. Now, I already spoke about the design and the color separation and all that, how it's fantastic. But man, does this thing suck when it comes to flexibility. I mean, granted, the arms are good. They are really, really good. But this kneeling pose, which if you've been watching previous videos, you know this is something that I like to do to showcase how they look. Full rotation for this. That's the most kneel that you will ever possibly be able to get out of this kit. It's, I mean, there's so much wasted potential here with it. And I'll show you why in a bit, but this, it's supposed to be a humanoid robot, and the Exia is supposed to move very fluid, very freely, very, because there's no big heavy armor. It's supposed to move very well, but it doesn't. Waist up, fantastic. Waist down, I mean, I could not get that knee to go straight forward. in any way, shape, or form. And as you can tell, like, it's basically leaning back because it can't bend forward, you know? And so let's take a look over here. Right? So the leg itself, yeah, you know, you have a really, really good bend right there, even with the feet, you know? Like full on toe movement. You can move the ankles right there. But it just loses so much on this point because it can't move forward. I mean, that's as far as it goes. That's crap. I just couldn't believe how bad that is. And even this bit that just fell off, first of all, it always falls off. Secondly, right there is as far as probably the leg will move. As I was saying, right here, that's as wide as that leg will go. If you were to swap it out with this piece, which it comes from the original RG Exia release, right? Take that off. I'm not going to bother putting this on. Then you'll see that the leg actually moves a considerable amount more. But then you wouldn't have this beam saber on the side anymore. It just defeats the whole purpose. I honestly don't know why they wouldn't just make it so that, you know, it popped off over here, you know, like the Estrella does. Then at least it could still have the beam sabers somewhere and actually have pretty good mobility. After griping about the legs for so long, this is actually pretty much what you get with the arms. So pretty good flexibility on the shoulder area. I mean, that arm does go pretty high. It can hold its weapon very well, like either or. I tested it out before. It can hold that pretty good. Pretty decent bend around over here. That's actually just hindered a little bit because of the rifle. Otherwise, it does go a little higher up. The legs, it's whatever. I already complained about them before. The only exception this time, as I didn't explain in the other one, was here in the ankles. They do go pretty far outward, the ankles. So that's really nice. And here we get to one of my favorite parts, which is the balance test. Now, the reason this is important is, as I've said before, some kids have a lot of trouble being able to hold their own body weight, and something like this would be very impossible unless you modified a lot of it, because either the upper body is too heavy so it'll sway to one side and just flop all over the place, or the legs aren't strong enough. Sometimes in the ankle areas it just can't hold a pose. With this kit, however, you don't got that problem. Yeah, those joints are actually pretty steady. I mean, I'm moving around over here just enough to, you know, be able to make it shake. I mean, even my display base isn't actually the smoothest thing in the world, so you can see a little bit of a wiggle room there, but it's not falling. That's beautiful. And this is all without the use of a display base. For my last bit, the fun factor. Did I enjoy the build? What's my overall impressions of the kit? Does it do what I expect it to do for an RG line? Well, the answer is full rotation. The kit looks fantastic. As I've said before, overall the look of it is great. Especially for an Exia. I mean, I'm pretty sure with Exia, given that there's 4 repair versions of it, there's going to be people that will like one over the other. Personally, I definitely prefer this design. My main backdrop is with those legs. It actually like loses a lot because of those legs, because it limits a lot of what you can do with the kit. I mean, this is probably the most dynamic pose that I could think of at the moment to be able to put it in, because it showcases just how close those arms can get to the chest, but also just how bad those legs are. I mean, it just seems like kind of wasted effort on all the engineering and detail on those legs. So, is it great to look at? Yes. Is it easy to build? Yes. Do the nub marks cover up well? Oh yeah. Like this took very little cleanup, given that there's so much white, and even in the blue it didn't mark too bad. Like it's really good the way it's done. And even the little areas that move, like right here in the knee, right? That joint piece, it opens up. The extra little details right there, right? Where they move up. The chest opens up as well and retracts. This back area too moves around freely. The feet are so free. That GN condenser actually can pop out. I've just never been interested in removing it. And all the pieces stay, well, most of the pieces stay on well. Like this will pop off on occasion. The elbow piece has the potential to pop off. Aside from that, everything is pretty sturdy on the kit. You don't have to worry about losing pieces. Not even that one, surprisingly. Like, haven't, lost it once. I lost it on my master grade version. Did not lose it on this one. And now, for my final rating. It is with heavy heart that I have to give this kit a 4.3 out of 5 Gundam heads. And the main reason for that is because of its damn flexibility. Oh my god! It limits you so much. Okay, so we've already established that the legs suck. I've repeated that so many times. But you would think that after going through 3 repairs, they would have fixed something like this. Because of that, even though you have this amazing looking mech with all of these awesome accessories, and you actually get like a ton of other leftover parts that you can use to make the previous Exia, versions of Exia. I mean, it does come with Repair 2 and the original Exia parts, most of them, I think. But yeah, it's those legs. Because of it, you can't pose it in any super dynamic ways on the ground. I mean, everything that you would have to do would be in the air. Like I have it like this, and this is kind of just like, this dude's tired. That's what this story is. He's just fought through hell, and he's just tired, and he wants to go to sleep. But those legs won't let him. Anyway, that's my review for the Gundam Exia Repair 3 in real grade. It's not what I would expect for a real grade. In certain aspects, it nails it with the color separation and the stability. But in its flexibility, we have actually expected much better from Bandai at this point. That's my review for this kit. Hope you enjoyed it. Please continue to support the channel. I have a ton of work ahead of me. I've got a lot of more unboxings and reviews and what have yous. So yeah, keep up to date for that. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye.